go along with it?
There are many misconceptions about human trafficking. The most important ones that I'm focusing on are, first and foremost, creating awareness for the U.S. citizens, for people locally to realize that it's happening in their own backyard, down the street from their home, and at their children's schools. And I know this because it happened to me. So when I was approached by my trafficker just walking across the street to my vehicle from my grandmother's house. And it's kind of like Little Red Riding Hood in a sense. I was just going on my merry little way and living in my innocence, and my trafficker approached me as a businessman, a photographer. He also expressed that he had no intentions on trying to hit on me or make me uncomfortable. So, this is one of the main misconceptions, that, maybe it happens in a bad neighborhood, or I was actually in a suburban neighborhood where, I guess it could be considered low crime. From my experience, I would share with at-risk youth and just the general public just to always be aware of anyone that has a story or a sales pitch that sounds too good to be true. They also come in the form of a boyfriend that is too nice and too giving, very generous, very flashy. Those are, generally signs that this person has some ill intention possibly. One of the other misconceptions that I really look forward to addressing is the one in which society believes that it's easy for the girl just to walk away. They see girls on the street and they say, oh, she could just walk away. Why doesn't she just call the police? Why doesn't she just escape? It is not that easy. We're talking about perpetrators and traffickers that have networks of people that have convinced you that your life is in their hands. Your life, your family's life is at risk if you even make a split thought of leaving. So that is not an option. And I would never advise a girl just to abruptly leave and not have a plan. The most important thing is leaving the life has to be done strategically. And that is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because you need to have a vast support system in place to ensure that you're safe, that you know what to do, that you leave in a safe and a structured manner. Anti-human trafficking movement is so important to me because there were no role models during my time of escaping, and I really see the importance and the value of having someone to look up to and to see that, to have that just basic encouragement that, look, this person got through it, and maybe even showing the way. It's very important that I'm a role model. To me, I don't have an option. And the main reason that I'm doing everything that I'm doing right now is because I feel that I don't have an option. I have to be that role model. I have to share my story. I have to provide that information and that support and that empowerment and encouragement to those victims and survivors that don't see a way, or once they get out, they don't know what to do. So that's why it's so important to me to establish myself as a role model and to live my life in balance. Being a role model, branches into being a mentor for the simple fact that I set the example, but then what is the reason behind me setting that example? And the example that I am trying to set is solely to provide the support of, hey, listen, I've been where you are. I know how it feels. I know where you're coming from. I know where you're at right now in this moment, and I can empathize and be there with you and go back to my experience to meet that need. And then from there, let me take you on the journey of getting away from this place and moving forward to the more positive and, the whole growth experience, just kind of walking with my clients and my girls. I don't want to call them clients. I definitely see them as girls and young women, and providing that support that I feel that I didn't have, and I definitely feel is lacking right now. It's missing. Ultimate goal for me is to meet my girls and my young women where they are. So I'm going to group homes. I want to go to, the goal is to go to any organization that provides services to this population of young women. They're in need, and a lot of these organizations offering services are limited, and I want to be that supplement to that organization that has this need that they know they have, but they don't quite know how to fill it, or maybe there's not enough survivors to fill that void. So I want to be available for that. For me, the way that I found my strength to lead was to think about my future and to really, really tell myself that, look, this is not at all what you intended for your future. You never dreamed of this. You did not dream of being someone else's slave. You did not dream of being bound and entrapped. You really dreamed of being free and being able to pursue your dreams and goals. Of, for me, it was being a singer. And even if I didn't know for sure that that was going to happen for me, what I knew for sure was standing on that street corner, it wasn't going to happen there. So I found strength in knowing that my current situation did not connect me with my future, by no means. And I could not settle for that. And that's how I self-motivated myself to leading the life. Most important advice to give to a victim and a survivor is to stay strong and to know that this is not your future. It doesn't have to be your future. So developing the strength for me was very difficult, and it's the same as it is for most victims. They have to make that decision within themselves, and then they have to be strong enough and find courage in something. So whether it's their children, maybe they have a family member that they absolutely love that they've been taken